Welcome to the Lazaro Lab. I'm Matt Lazaro, and Ryan is working, so it's just me today. I got my guest today, Mr. Kenny Foster.
How you guys doing?
Welcome, sir. I've talked to you about coming on for a little while now, and kind of made it work.
Finally making it happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here because I feel like there's a lot that we can talk about in general, especially even when you've been a longtime client.
Yeah.
But I think originally I met you, it's been a while.
Yeah, you were at the other place.
Yeah. That was
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2015, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So originally when I met you back then, you were what were you focusing on more fitness wise? You're more along the lines of bodybuilding, just getting jacked and
just trying to. I've been heavy in the gym for a decade, but I knew that I needed to get my diet right.
Yeah.
And I remember I had came to you. Somebody recommended me to you. Anyway, I went over there, met with you, and then that's kind of plow right when it hit kind of my cancer scare, I guess you could say. We went, so I was having surgery after surgery, and then I kind of just
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember you told me about that, and I was like, what's going on? That's crazy, dude, because you were getting really fit, and then you kind of disappeared for a bit.
Yeah.
But that's part of what I wanted to bring you on for. I mean, I feel like you've been through a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And you've persevered over a ton of different things. Just in life in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now, not only are you significantly healthier and fit than you've ever been, overcome cancer, and you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so we got a lot to talk about, in other words. But no, so, go in a little bit about like kind of what happened with the cancer.
Well, it wasn't cancer.
Oh, it wasn't cancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
It was a cancer scare.
Yeah, the doctors thought it was cancer. I had a tumor growing in my face.
Yeah.
You guys can see it's a little bit right here, but it just was growing in there for like a year, and it got to the point where I was like, "Come on, docs, get this thing out of me,"
Yeah.
And they were just doing test after test, but luckily it wasn't cancer, but it did involve 3 surgeries. So I had a removal surgery, then a surgery where they put an implant in there, because after they removed it the first time, it left like this big old sunken in dent. Oh, wow. Like in my cheekbone.
Yeah.
So then they came in, put in an implant, so I got 2 screws right there. And then the third surgery was just some fat grafting they did to kind of fill it in.
Oh, wow.
So it helped a lot. It's still not, not as pretty as I used to be. And my mouth don't work quite as well, but
it's funny. I never really noticed any of those things, but maybe I will now. No.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it turned out, it wasn't cancer, thank God, but it kind of weighed heavy on my mind for that full year. It was a good 12 months. I was doing biopsies, CAT scans, all that stuff, and you could see it growing, so.
Oh man, that's stressful.
Yeah.
Stressful as heck.
So luckily, and cancer runs really heavy in my family, really heavy. So sometimes I kind of deal with the fact that I know I'm probably going to have to battle that someday, the real thing.
Yeah. I think every one of us to a degree is going to, we all essentially will come to a similar fate as everybody else of 3 main things. It's usually either heart disease, stroke, or cancer, right? It's just... I guess that's the whole reason why we try to stay healthy, so it happens significantly later in life.
Yeah.
Like significantly later. But, what else happened? When did the leg thing happen?
That happened 4 years ago.
Was that before or after the cancer scare?
That was after.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
How soon after?
Not that long.
Yeah.
Like maybe a year after all the surgeries, or a year and a half.
Man. So describe because your leg got pretty messed up.
Yeah, I almost lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Almost losing your leg.
Yeah. It was hanging there, That was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. I always forget about that, and then you're like, oh yeah, look, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good now. I got a lot of work done to it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Whew, man. Yeah. So, you don't have to go into detail about what happened, but in a short story, you were what?
Short story was I was coming out of one of my properties that I had with another investor. We do. I own KLF Investments, and we invest in real estate. We do fix and flips. So I was over there. Was towards the end of the project. Maybe 4 days left. Was checking on the contractors. Blah blah blah. Long story short, I'm walking out to my car. And a drive-by happened, not at me, but
Just in the area.
And the guy didn't get hit, so we started running after him. Guy comes around the corner and just takes me out, and my leg, what made it really bad is my leg got caught under the suspension and just ripped everything. So
did you get pinned between two cars?
No.
Or you just got...
No, I just
got hit.
Yeah, luckily I jumped pretty high because there was nowhere to go, so I jumped up as high as I could to try to jump on his hood like an action movie.
Hey man,
I didn't make it. Yeah. And so then he clipped me and I fell down on the ground, and then the rear of the car ran over my leg and then just caught it and just ripped it.
Oh, God.
So yeah, it was bad.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Because for something that traumatic to happen, you pretty much have been able to regain the majority of all your movement, more or less.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're squatting in the gym. Mm-hmm. Kenny works out all the time. So,
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, everything I've went through, the past decade, I can everything I've conquered, I can, I owe a lot of that to fitness, definitely keeps me going. And I don't know, I'm just in a better place all around because of it,
I mean, those two things in that short period of time, like what was going through your mind, like after the cancer scare and then leading into, oh my goodness, I might lose my leg.
It was,
what kind of...
It was, well, right when I got hit, it was kind of, like somebody's got to help me or I'm not going to be here type of situation, So, and then you're helpless because it's your leg. You're on the ground. I bled out pretty good.
Were you alone?
No, my contractors ran out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for them, my man Moses, shout out to him and his family, they called the ambulance right away. Fire chief or fire trucks got there pretty quickly, which was good. They immediately started shoving the morphine in me.
Oh yeah, that definitely.
Yeah. So, but the how I knew I was really messed up. I mean, I knew I was messed up, but because I looked down and I accepted in my mind right away that I'm not going to be able to keep that leg. There's no way.
Oh, man. That's a wild thought to go through your mind.
But when I knew I was really bad was when the firemen showed up and you could see the look on their face.
They're worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to see them worried.
No, you don't want to see them worried. Yeah, it was like when I seen their face and you look at them and you're like, these guys see stuff all the time, and look at their face. They're like, oh, man, he's messed up.
Fudge.
So, it was... From there, I mean, it was a run to the hospital. They threw me in the ambulance because it was pretty life threatening. So they rushed me there to the hospital. But I spent 4 or 5 days here at County, which is the only trauma unit. And then they shipped me to San Francisco, for another month and 3 weeks. So
what was going through your mind during you're in the hospital, you're alive, you're like, okay, like what was that like?
It was challenging. It was bad. A lot of pain, a lot of drugs, a lot of PTSD,
What were they telling you, like, about your leg in general, or what was the foreseen future?
Well, the first 2 surgeries was just, we're going to try, but we don't know if it's going to be able to if you're going to be able to keep it.
Yeah.
And that was the first 2 here at county. Then once that they conquered that, you know, it was kind of decided after the second surgery that, okay, he's going to keep it. And then they shipped me to San Francisco, and that's where I had to do grafting because they couldn't use the skin no more. It was too badly thrashed, you know.
Ooh, man.
But I mean, there was the first week was like a blur. You don't really know.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I was wondering. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're probably, you have to be drugged up a lot.
Oh yeah, very.
So when you figured out that you were going to keep, you know, you were able to keep your leg and stuff, like what went, you know, what kind of led up to you being, was there like a moment where you're just like, I gotta make this work or something? You know,
Yeah,
like,
just trying to accept the fact that it was going to be a tough fight ahead of you.
Yeah.
Really tough. But you know it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
You know, but like, you know, the first month I couldn't even leave the bed, so I was bedridden.
Oh,
so, you know, you lose, I mean, I lost like all my muscle laying there, you know. So but yeah, just knowing that it's going to be tough. You got to learn how to walk again.
Yeah.
All over, you know.
Damn.
So
yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I basically learned how to walk all the way over again. Which
How long did that take? From you know, from the time that you were done with surgeries and stuff.
Probably I went pretty quick. I was busting. I was, you know, I was on it. I was pretty dedicated.
Did you have a physical therapist? Or?
Oh yeah, I had it in the hospital. Then I came home with the physical therapist in home. Then I had an outpatient one. So I had like different steps of physical therapy.
Yeah.
You know, but when I got to the third one is when they could really kick my ass. And I told them, I said, yeah, you better go on me. And they did. It was hard.
Dude, that's wild.
It was really hard, you know, just trying to maneuver around your home though is what, you know.
Ooh, yeah, I can't
know.
imagine like just getting up to go to the bathroom and stuff.
Oh, that's a job. It'll wear you out, you know.
Oh man.
You know, so just, you know, having a wheelchair through your own house is kind of like
not something you ever want.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, anybody out there that knows, you know, that's at an amputee or something like that, and the leg is like worse than your arm. I mean, the arm is anything's bad.
Yeah.
At least you can walk. Without walking, that's your whole structure. You know.
That's true. Yeah.
So,
up, did you realize there's I don't know. Was there like a moment where you realized maybe there's a lot of things you took for granted, like just like?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I can imagine just even thinking like, oh, you know, I need help to get out of bed or something.
Yeah, like when you're fully helpless like that, it doesn't matter how tough you are at that moment. Well, you know, you just get humbled real quick and just know that you have to take some help. You know.
Did you feel like you were able to stay positive, or were you in a dark place, or like what was going on?
It moved back and forth. Some days I was, but then you have your days where it gets dark, and you know, PTSD was real. You know, like I'd have a lot of nights where I just wake up out of bed shaking and like,
oh wow,
body twitching. You know, and just replaying the whole scene in your head over and over and over and over.
Yeah, damn.
And then even after I was walking, you know, down the road, you know, I had nerve damage, so you get a little body twitches every once in a while. It finally went away. I'm good now, but.
And that's been, what, 4 years?
Yeah, it was 4 years in November. So
wow.
2017, 2017 is when it happened.
Dude, that's wild, man.
But I'm stronger now than I was then.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was leading up to, like that. Your overall like physical, you know, ability to do what you want to do is, like you said, you're. Would you say you're the most physically fit you've been
right now? Currently, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
You
ain't no 20-year-old either.
Nah, I'll be 42 in 3 weeks.
Yeah. I swear, 40-year-olds nowadays way more fit than everybody.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, it's a lot of work, but you know, I love doing it, and You know, a lot of I got to give a lot of that to you though too. You know.
Hey man, I was just there when you needed some help.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I remember. So if I remember correctly, I think you hit me up before you had the cancer scare.
Yeah.
And
then I kind of
like right after, but then the leg thing happened.
Yeah.
And then you hit me up again after that.
After the leg thing, because I got strong and everything, but I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah.
That's what it was. From laying around in the hospital and just I was still working out, everything, but I knew I had to get my diet back in check.
Yeah.
So,
well, dude, you're what was it? How long ago was it then when you were? What was your weight when you were heavy? Were you in the like 220s or something like that?
Yeah, when I came to you.
Yeah.
But I've been heavier. Shoot, I mean, when I was
you were bigger.
Healthy, I was like 240 something, 247. Yeah.
Yeah, but you dropped down pretty well prior to that, but then after, experiencing all of this, that recent stuff, but you had, you didn't completely gain all your muscle back yet at that point either, right? Or maybe?
Yeah, I did. I felt strong. I just I couldn't get the body fat to go away, you know, but I was still working out every day. I was working out in the hospital at home, like I still stayed working out. It's just I think I put on so much laying up in the hospital that I needed something to get it back down,
Food wise, it's a lot. Hospital food's not the best. They just want to keep you alive.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
They don't need you super healthy. But nah, you dropped a lot. Like we got you to single digit body fat.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember what you started at percentage wise? Pretty high up there.
Maybe late high 20s, 30s maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'd have to look it up, but pretty sure it was pretty up there. But
I know I was in the close to 220, if not close to it, What
are you walking around at right now?
184?
Yeah. Lean machine now.
Yeah.
It's it's funny when Kenny scans on the machine we use in the InBody, when you're anywhere between 10%, like you're legitimately lean. That's the thing. That's why I always tell everyone, if you're around 10% less on the machine scan, you're legit lean. But the calipers, like we used to do, it can only account for the fat on the top layer.
Yeah.
But now you're lean on the inside too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah, the caliper. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that in a while.
The machine's so much more accurate in the greater grand scheme of things. So it's less invasive. No one has to strip down to get pinched.
Yeah, exactly.
No one stripped completely down, by the way. So that would just be weird. So fitness, what got you in the working out part? Because you've never seemed to have struggled with that necessarily.
Honestly, my working out came from jail.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So I did a little, not much, but some small time back in my early 30s, late 20s, around there, and I was never fit. I all through my 20s, I was heavy. I drank all the time, ate fast food, and I went to jail for a little while, and I just had it in my mind that I'm going to get out of here and I'm not going to have anything, so I need to improve myself some way. So that's what I did, so.
Yeah. I guess that's, you got a lot of time to think over there.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I adopted working out in there and just stayed on it. And then I got out, was working out at the house for, mind you, I'm only a year into even working out, besides if you go way back in middle school when I played sports or whatever. But as an adult, living 10, 15 years of partying, I even smoked cigarettes for years,
Oh, man.
Yeah, so drank, did all the party life. And then, I went in, adopted working out, started to love it, started to feel that, it started to change me, made me more disciplined in everything, not just fitness, but just going after my goals, going after meditation, just everything. It just made me a better person all around. So I just stuck with it. And So then finally, maybe a year or two after that, I said, man, I was getting fit, but I was, kind of skinny. So I was like, no, I got to start hitting the weights now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Then I finally got in the gym, and that's 10, 11 years ago now. I've been doing it solid. So now it's like,
nice.
I can't even see myself without it. Like, by day 3 and not working out, I'm feeling like, okay, something's wrong.
Would you say what one of the interesting things, especially when I talk to just people in general that have done some time, what do you feel like is the difference between you and the majority that usually go back in? Because the majority go back in usually. It's not it's kind of like a revolving door, to my understanding, when I talk to.
Yeah, it's kind of designed that way.
It is.
Not to get too.
No, I agree. I agree.
Political, but they're not rehabbing too many people. Like,
well, that's my
people
point.
Go
so
back.
It's like what changed you though that doesn't seem to really happen as a majority.
Well, I would say a main thing is you got to change your surroundings, and that can be tough to do.
Yeah.
You gotta limit the time that you spend around the same people or same environment that got you there in the first place.
So when you got out, were you just trying to stay completely away from that altogether?
Just trying to stay away. I knew I had already, I had already messed up and before, and I knew if I went back again, it was going to be penitentiary, and I didn't, and I had a daughter, I promised her that, I'd get my stuff right. So
yeah,
that's what I did. But like I said, limiting who you're around, who you surround yourself is a huge part of where you end up.
That's so much more true than people think. I mean, this is also why I tell a lot of people when they are just in general pursuing like, hey, you want to be healthier, yet the majority of the people in your environment are unhealthy. It's really hard,
Yeah.
But I can imagine it in terms of like getting into trouble. That would be more true than anything. I mean, the consequences seem to be a little higher.
Yeah.
In an immediate sense, of course, and you could eat yourself into oblivion and die of something like a heart attack pretty quick nowadays. I mean, there's guys our age that they're dropping like flies now.
Yeah.
I just read this. I just read a report about how the highest death rates unrelated to the pandemic or have occurred in the recent years, in the last 2 years. It's kind of interesting, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, obesity is real. Like it's
like 57% of our population right now out
Yeah.
of 350 million people. It's pretty wild. The one thing that blows my mind is not that 50% thing, but that about a third of our population basically has either diabetic or they're becoming diabetic. Man, it's wild. Like to just think about like a disease completely managed by how much you eat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an oversimplification, but generally, like overall, that's what it is. But not to get too off track, but like going back to because I do find that fascinating. Like the majority of people that I knew growing up, because I grew up on the South Side, running around thinking I'm a thug or whatever at one point and did bad stuff. I think I just got lucky to not get caught. There's the difference, right? Mm-hmm. But by the time I got in my early 20s, I was more focused on like career-oriented stuff, fortunately. But like I said, I find it fascinating. Like when people have a story like yours, like you get into trouble in your 20s and 30s, and then now the last decade you've been more a productive, contributing person to society.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you're an entrepreneur. I mean, a lot of entrepreneurship leads to the root of it is it leads to bettering, I would say, our community and also others. Like it's truly rooted in that, and I mean that's just kind of how I've always seen it. But What other experiences would you say kind of led you, or is it just an accumulation of the things you have gone through recently? Like,
just like I said, distancing yourself from certain environments, certain people.
Yeah.
Fitness has played a huge part in that.
yeah,
Because I notice when I'm on my game in fitness, I do better in business as well. It's kind of like tied together, you know.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So like I know on a week where I'm killing it in the gym, I'm probably gonna like accomplish a lot business wise as well.
Yeah.
Plus it clears my head. But yeah, just that. Reading. I started reading a lot, so I read every day.
Is that recent or is that like over the
No,
last
I've been
few years?
since I started getting into business and entrepreneurship. Just trying to read every day. There's a day here and there where I miss, but try to read because like the way I feel is like you work out your body, you got to work the mind as well too. The mind's like a muscle.
You have to.
You know.
Otherwise, I feel like if I'm not studying and reading and things like that constantly, I feel per se dumb. Like I don't feel as sharp. In other words, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially in your field that whatever you're an entrepreneur in, you should always be trying to get better and study more and learn more on that field.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All the time. So
never stops.
Yeah, so just adopting a mind that's always trying to grow and learn. It just makes you want to.
Yeah.
It just keeps you from wanting to go back to your old ways or staying out of that.
Yeah, it keeps you a little honest, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What have you been reading lately that's really caught your attention?
Right now, I'm reading 48 Laws of Power.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
Robert Greene.
Yeah,
right?
Robert Greene. Yeah, so I'm on that right now. But I've read my favorite books. I know it's probably cliche because they've been brought up a lot, but still, Think and Grow Rich. I love Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, a lot of real estate involved in that. And I like biographies too, so I read Spanos's biography.
I've never read that.
It's really good.
I didn't even know he had one, to be honest.
It's really good, and he's from Stockton,
Yeah.
and he was a real estate guy, so I love that. Immigrant.
Yeah, immigrant, big real estate. Like
Yeah, he was. Yeah, like I don't think people sometimes they don't realize how big he was. Like in the 50s, 60s, he's one of the biggest developers in the country.
Yeah,
and
period.
he lived
Yeah.
right here in Stockton.
Freaking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had offices in Reno and Florida, and he would take his jet from. I know his weekly schedule. So he'd fly out on Monday.
Yeah.
Do all his business, and come back on Thursday, 4-day week, and spend the rest of the Friday, Saturday, Sunday with his family because he was real big on family too. Then when he bought the Chargers, he'd fly out to San Diego for every game. So,
yeah, the family aspect's really important. I find it a common theme too amongst these really wildly successful people. Maybe not all of them, but most of them.
yeah.
I don't think like. I don't know. You ever read about Steve Jobs?
No, I kind of dabbled in the movie a little bit, but I haven't read the book.
Yeah.
I don't know how true the movie is to the book.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw the movie.
He was kind of the opposite, though, right?
Yeah, it was kind of. To my understanding, I could be wrong. It's been so long since I've looked at it, but he was. I think at the end of his life, though, it was a lot of regret.
Yeah.
Right. Like, which I was like, whoa, man.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but But then you see someone like who's living right now, like Elon Musk, and he's all about his kids. You could tell, like he's, it's just like, yeah, I feel like those things are super, super important.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, like I'd imagine your daughter's some of the reasons why you do some of the things you do.
Yeah, I mean, she's the reason why I never went back.
Yeah.
And she just had a child, so I'm a grandfather now.
Oh man, grandpa.
That's wild. So, and it's kind of crazy because we'll go out to eat and people think she's my lady. Oh, and I'm like, what the hell? That's my daughter.
Yeah, you're like,
but I guess I am pretty young to have a grandchild, 41.
My oldest brother, he's 44 or something like that. I don't know, and he's a grandpa too. So you know, it can happen.
Yeah, I mean it's a great experience though. I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. You know,
Man, that's wild.
I feel like I know he's my grandchild, but in some ways I feel like he's mine too. Because I always wanted a son, and you know, so it's kind of like my way of having one without having one.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you don't have to be. You don't have to be there through all the really hard part. Of little.
Yeah, sometimes I have been already.
Oh well, no, of course, yeah.
Changed my first diaper in 20 years, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, that's a blessing, man. I love, I love him. His name's Legend, but right now I call him Fat Daddy.
Fat Daddy.
Yeah. Fat Daddy.
How old is he?
He's 4.5. He'll be 5 months.
Man, wow.
He'll be 5 months in what, 2 weeks?
Damn. Okay.
Growing big though.
Yeah. Well,
wearing clothes one time, they're done.
Eating good then. That's all.
Yeah. Bad daddy.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Okay, so you've had this journey, especially it sounds like in the last decade, and it's so fascinating how like everyone I get to talk to, it's like there's some correlation between fitness and what I mean by fitness is like the pursuit of bettering the self in all aspects, I would argue, right? Like physical, mental, and all the above. I feel like we can really put all those things together. It just seems to just push people forward to want to do more. So
definitely.
So you're in the real estate game right now with flipping and stuff. What else do you have going on right now?
Well, I did. I'm also co-owner of Stocklandia with my partners, Robert Arias and my partner Veronica. We opened it a year ago, worked on it a year before that. So we were 2 years in. We were having great success, and then it had to come to an end because of our city manager, Mr. Harry Black, he's not too fond of it. You know? So. We are working with city council, though. We've had tremendous support from the council.
Good.
People tend to bunch those up, but they're separate. So the city council and the mayor is one side. The city staff is a whole nother side. City staff involves city manager, planning department, and the economic department.
It's weird that it's separate. I don't know. I can't say I understand much about politics, but
yeah. Well, I've definitely learned a lot about city politics going through this. So
yeah, Stockton seems to be.
We got the worst planning department in California.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's serious.
I've heard
terrible.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like what I always hear from just business owners in general. It's just not friendly to
at all
to business unless you are a big box name.
Yeah.
Right. So you got places like Best Buy and places popping up like
Cane's Chicken, Burger King, fast food, all that in general, all that.
They're gonna keep me in business though, so that's okay.
Yeah.
No, but that's the wild part. It's like if it's not like part of a big box, big corporation, big franchise, it seems like they make you jump through hoops to a degree,
which they do
with zoning and all sorts of. So I don't know, man. That's wild, but
they're not responsive. That they're not willing to work with you at all when they should be trying. A planning department of a city should be trying to work with entrepreneurs from the city.
You would think
not let them break the law, but they should be trying to work with them.
Yeah. I mean that's the thing. It's like the funny thing I would imagine is that things are, and maybe I'm completely off on this, but I would imagine certain things are not always set in stone, right? It just all depends on what they want and what they don't want, and I don't know. I like you said, it's not about breaking the law. It's about maybe just doing what's right.
Yeah.
And
then to top it off, the concept that we had, which was a permanent food truck location, there's not an ordinance built for that too. So we have that hurdle, but which we're currently going to be working with city council to get that established. So down the road, we can possibly rebuild and come back out.
Because there's a definite need. All the other, pretty much every larger city I go to, they have places like that.
Yeah. But this is like a permanent one that you can have all the time. We were actually only the third one in California. So
Oh, okay. Maybe my understanding of what it actually is.
yeah, so a permanent food truck location is a location that's there all the time.
Yeah.
Not like a pop-up or a food truck Friday where you see them, they come once a month. This is like it's there all the time, you know. So San Francisco currently has the largest one.
Yeah.
Spark Social is right down the street from the stadium. And then everybody should know that Modesto came out with theirs, a Grubhub.
Oh, yeah.
So Stocklandia was the third one.
So what's the difference in terms of what's going on in Modesto?
Modesto, from what we know, from the information that we've gathered, is they don't have a city ordinance for it either, but they were allowed to do it because their planning department, their city department, embraced the idea and allowed them to perform on what they call a conditional use permit.
Okay.
So basically they're performing, they're allowed to perform until whenever they get an ordinance built for that. But it's been such a success. I don't see that city. They're not going to tell them to kick, get out of town or nothing.
They're getting revenue from it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because when you have in food, to my understanding, from a county standpoint, those tax dollars go to the funding of, what is it? If I could be wrong, but like law enforcement and things like that. Like, I think a lot of that funding comes directly from food, in maybe sales tax or something to that degree.
I'm not sure on that. I have heard something like that.
Yeah.
That could be.
But more concrete business with small business owners is always a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, because every food truck is its
own business. Yeah. So everyone there was required to have all their separate.
Yeah, it was all legit.
So it was unfortunate. But thankful to everyone that did come out and support while I was there. I mean, it was
popping.
Yeah, it was popping until the end, until they tore it up. But we'll be back out. If we do come back out, it's going to be a much larger, much lot nicer than what it was. It was nice though until they came in there and started extorting us.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it is at the end of the day, unfortunately. But yeah, but no. So aside from that, are those kind of your main focuses right now?
Yeah, just I love real estate. I love fitness. I'm into cars and.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of your cars.
Yeah, well, I got the one. Yeah, I'm rebuilding. This will be the second time I'm building my Impala. So I've been into lowriding my whole life. So that's the only reason why I'm watching the Super Bowl this weekend, because they're gonna have lowriders at the halftime show. I'm not really worried about the teams or nothing.
Yeah. Oh man.
But
that's funny.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I totally lost my train of thought. That damn train. You can always hear that sucker. What the heck was I gonna ask you? I don't know, whatever. But real estate wise, what are you seeing right now with real estate? Is there inventory's pretty low?
Yeah, inventory's low. Still, interest rates are still low. Prices are sky high. So, but I see that changing. Some people would argue that, but it's been too high for too long. It has to correct itself.
Well, what about I heard that the interest rates are going to start going up.
Yeah, they're going to start raising.
Well, I think just based on tapering in general with what's going on with our stupid economy. But.
Yeah, the economy's terrible right now. But yeah,
it's different.
Yeah. Everyone knows. You've been in the grocery store.
Oh yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, I just got my PG&E bill too. I guess that's affecting that too, because my PG&E is like crazy right now.
Man, it's been going up anyways. Like they've raised their rates multiple times already. And then even I think water went up recently too.
Yeah, water. Yeah. Everything goes up.
Yeah, pretty much, except wages. Wages don't go up. Yeah. That's the only thing that sucks,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sucks if you're a wage-based employee. Like most places do not adjust for that at all.
No.
I don't know. That's a whole nother topic in itself, but
yeah. But yeah, really, I see real estate you know, it's got to correct itself here soon. I'm thinking by the end of this year, you know.
It would be nice, you know, like, you know what's crazy? I was reading about specifically California real estate, why it's almost as if they intentionally suppress inventory to drive prices up anyways, right? Like
some people would argue that. I've heard that.
So I don't remember the guy who was saying it, but he broke down how it's illegal to build up like how they do in
New York,
right?
Yeah.
So they prohibit that. So then in places like, let's say San Jose, for example, they have it zoned for low-income housing in these higher income places. And then what they do is they prohibit that type of building so they can't build anyways. And then they end up just passing things through to push and build high-end stuff. So it's like you get these cities that are very much on the side of we need to help the poor. We're pro low, like taking care of people, but their actions don't match what they're saying, and so that's how they so that's another political thing. And if you're in the Bay Area, I mean, there's only pretty much one way that they vote. So nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying, so it just doesn't match. But it's just funny, like if you're talking about gentrification and stuff like that, that's literally what's happening, but no one ever does anything about it.
Yeah.
But that's crazy because like I remember talking to a couple of friends that have property in San Jose, and they're like, this doesn't make any sense why my house is worth $1.3 million.
And that's real too.
Yeah, and their house is like a fraction of what mine is. And I'm like, dude, like what? It's nothing special at all. It's just the land. It's crazy.
Yeah. San Francisco, Monterey, Santa Cruz. I think even before the pandemic started, the six of the highest real estate cities were in California. 6 out of 10. Out of the 10 highest, 6 of them.
What is it, like San Francisco?
San Francisco, I think it was San Jose, San Francisco, San Diego, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You still got all that down there.
Right.
And then I think it was like Monterey, Carmel area.
Oh, God, yeah.
6 out of 10.
Woo. Yeah.
It might have changed by now, but that was 2-3 years ago.
It sucks. It's like I really love California. Like, ain't nothing like it. I've traveled enough to know that ain't nothing like it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, the things are just wild here sometimes.
It's making it tough to stay sometimes.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. There's it is kind of different being where we are at, though. We're kind of in the middle of
well, we're
not quite on the one side.
We're in the valley.
Just
we're in the cheaper part of the state. That's what I would say.
Still absurdly expensive.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not SoCal and it's not the Bay.
No,
it's the valley.
Yeah, that's true.
It's cool though. You can, if you want to go to the Bay, you can get there in an hour and a half.
Yep.
5 hours from LA. If you want to shoot to Nevada, you're 3 hours.
3 hours away. Yeah.
Go to SAC. You're 45 minutes from the capital.
Yeah, it's pretty central to everything. I like it.
Yeah. That's one positive thing. Yeah, that's a good. So, yeah.
Well, you can't beat our weather.
Yeah, we got the best weather
by far.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's winter and it's going to be 70 degrees.
Yeah.
I mean that I am slightly concerned for that, but we do need some more snow to come.
Yeah, no, we do. Yeah, you can't argue the weather. I think that's why, sometimes I feel like we get taxed to deal with the good weather. Like you're paying a good weather tax.
Yeah, yeah. It's like isn't the average cost of living overall anywhere from like 15 to 18% more here?
Yeah,
I think I may be wrong, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's in that range.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a fair weather tax, maybe.
Yeah.
So, with entrepreneurship and just in general business in general, like where do you see yourself in? What are some of your future plans?
I'd say just more real estate, man. I love it. We'll try to get in the commercial field, multifamily stuff like that. Definitely want to
like apartment complexes.
Yeah, but even maybe some more retail too. But definitely want to get Stocklandia back up and going like a real, like a real food park. You know? But
That'll
in
be
a
dope.
city that'll really embrace it. Because, I mean, our city did embrace it as far as the client. I mean, as far as our customers.
The people want
Yeah,
it.
they loved it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they loved it. We had a podcast going there too for a while. I mean, people loved it. We got a lot of support. Your cousin was out there selling out there.
I know.
What is it? Your cousin or?
Yeah,
was it
it's my cousin. Yeah.
Yeah, he was out there selling out.
Mac Daddy Grill.
Mac Daddy Grill. Yeah,
Yep.
he's in Sacramento, right?
Yeah, he's not doing no more now.
Yeah, I heard he got Veronica was telling me he got a job. Sorry, he took a job somewhere.
He just went back to doing what he's back in real estate, like loans or something like that again. It's kind of hard to stay away from that.
Yeah. What do you do with the truck though?
I think he sold it.
Really?
Pretty sure.
His truck was nice too.
It was very nice, yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, no, my other buddy right now has his truck going. It's a corn. He like specializes in corn dogs.
Yeah, he's been
Black
there
olive.
too.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
knows
yeah.
Olives.
Olive.
Yeah, he's been to Stocklandia.
Holler, Black Olive.
Yeah.
Mr. John.
Olives. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's been
yeah.
there a couple times.
Yep. Yeah. So he's still going. But the food truck industry is crazy, man. It's just
Yeah, it took off even more during this pandemic.
big time.
Big time,
'Cause
yeah.
a lot of these restaurants were just to my understanding, some restaurants just create their just made a food truck instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just bring the truck to the population wherever.
Pretty much, I mean,
Yeah.
with all the rules and regulations that people were having, it's all kind of funny now, but
Yeah, especially since they're ending the mandate on the 15th.
I don't know. We'll see. California's stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from that one. Well, dude, there's so what about even like your fitness and stuff like that?
Just stay working out. I mean, I love, I'll probably be working out until I die,
Yeah.
I feel like the way I feel about fitness is like if I was to stop fitness, I wouldn't be successful in my other stuff, other endeavors I got going on. Cause it just, and going back to what you were asking me probably like 10, 15 minutes ago, I was going to say, I've never seen one. Have you met too many people that are in what you would consider in shape or fit that aren't successful? I haven't.
In terms of
In terms of, overall life. Like, and when I say success, that doesn't mean you have to have billions, millions of dollars. I mean,
the majority seem to be very content with life. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether they're like extremely financially successful or something like that, they just seem.
But success can be a lot of other things besides just money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're maybe they make moderate money, but they have a incredible family life, incredible marriage, or whatever.
Exactly.
Basically, what I mean is most fit people that I've met have a lot of success in some field.
I would agree, because the majority of them, I think when people have that type of discipline to for their body, they tend to take care of other things.
Yeah, they tend to devote that same discipline in other.
The only time I see it being skewed is when when we're dealing with outliers, like the extremely. I wouldn't even say they're fit, right? So like a bodybuilder, I would say, is a part of the fitness industry, but I would not call them healthy necessarily.
Just because of the drug use?
Not just the drug use, but there is an excessive amount to any degree to any sport when you're dealing with the outliers. It's definitely not healthy or sustainable. And even, let's say, high-level CrossFit athletes, it's only sustainable for so long. Or even any sport. You pick a sport, the best of the best are probably not going to be as healthy as they could be unless you're Tom Brady. I don't know. I see that dude seems never to age.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know. No one really knows what's going on, between his ears, right? Like no one really knows. But generally, in in general, and people seem to be healthier and more fit and have structure and discipline in their lives, they seem to, at least the ones I have met and know personally, seem to be really much more content in life in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you know, like I know I personally feel a direct correlation with my health, fitness, and just my perception of what I feel is success for me. Like it's very, very true to itself, you know, and that's something I can't deny.
Yeah, and that's
know?
good. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, without health, you don't really have much.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. It's like I do get clients that are extremely successful financially, but their health is in the abyss, and you know, a lot of them tell me they realize like it's almost pointless to be so good at one thing, but then you know you feel bad, you physically, mentally, and all these things are just like deteriorating in front of you, and it's like, well, what's the freaking point?
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, is that winning really? I would say no.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't see. I don't know. There's definitely the perception of balance has to be there. I just think it's different for everybody because of our capacity to juggle things and put effort into one thing and another thing. It definitely differs because, like, even it's possible that the amount of time that you spend working out and then I working out for certain people is going to feel really unsustainable. But for us, it feels normal. It feels normal to work out 6-7 times a week. You know, like, but that's our normal, I would say.
Yeah.
But someone can be just as healthy as us and not do that as often, I would argue, too. It's just all a matter of how we perceive those stressors, I would say. Mm-hmm. You know.
Definitely. Yeah.
So actually, that leads me to a question I like to ask everybody is, like, what role do you feel stress plays in your life, in a sense that, do you feel like you're always stressed out, or you feel like...
No, but I do have my days, you know.
Or how do you handle that?
How do I deal with stress?
Not necessarily deal with it, but like, what is its role in your life? Because some people, you know, as an example, like some people feel when we talk about stress, you know, they associate it with them falling apart.
I wouldn't say it's not falling apart for me. Has it been like that in the future? I mean, in the past, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
But you still went into it, if that makes... Because like my observation of you talking about your experiences, it's, you know, going to jail and cancer scare and almost losing your leg. I mean, those are pretty significant stressors.
Yeah.
That didn't stop you.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm just at the end of the day, I'm just you don't give up. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be days where you don't feel like doing something, but you just do it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get halfway through and you're like, damn, I'm glad I did this.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true. You feel accomplished.
Yeah. Because, I mean, as much as I love working out, as much as I do love working out, I still always have that one day during the week where, like, fuck, I don't really feel like coming today.
Yeah.
But then I do it anyway. And then once I'm like a quarter, halfway through that workout, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I came.
So would you say a lot of your success is rooted in your mindset?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because I mean that's a common thing I see with everybody that's doing well in all regards. It's like their mindset and perception of the role things play in their life is just different than the general population. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not sitting around complaining.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd say, I mean, that mindset for me has been created a lot by working out, fitness, and then also reading, and then just trying to adapt my mind, trying to grow my mind every day, and then also just having gratitude, man. Like,
yes,
be grateful for like little things, you know. Like there's been days where I'm just grateful. I wake up, I have everything, even, you know, a few nice things that I really have that some people could consider material, but the things that I'm grateful for is little stuff like a hot shower, you know,
I never felt grateful for a hot shower until something until I've been backpacking multiple days and I have not felt warm water until freezing cold. Like those, we're spoiled. That's the problem. We're life's easy.
Yeah. So just making sure I'm grateful every day for little things, you know.
Yeah, man. You know, what would you recommend to the young entrepreneur, and not even just young, just people who just are thinking about it? Like, what's some advice you would give them?
You're gonna have people doubt you, family members. They're gonna doubt you, and it's not always because they're hating on you or whatever. It's just people only know, I think, one way of how to live, you know, the 9 to 5, whatever. And there's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, a lot of times they're generally concerned and they're
fearful. They don't want you to fail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't want you to take on no big loans that you might have to take on to start a business, you know.
True.
But at the end of the day, you got to just follow your heart and do what you want to do. But whatever you decide to do, make sure you give it your all and put your whole heart into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's gonna predict whether you fail or not. You know, if you're gonna go in, you go in. Don't half step.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Just jump in.
Yeah. And it's not gonna be there. You're gonna have tough days. You know.
Yeah. No,
you're gonna have tough days.
Yeah. You're gonna have tough years.
Yeah.
I've had tough years, man. Like it is what it is, though. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to my brother about this too, and I was just telling him, like, you know, there's no freaking way I can ever work for somebody ever again. There's no way. I think I'm practically unemployable at this point in life. You know, like there's, so I better make it work. You know, like,
yeah.
But you know that it's. I think what did they call those things? Like in terms of being able to adjust, and you either have like a fixed mindset or I can't remember the other term, but it seems that people, I would say like us, do not have a fixed mindset, and we're able to adjust and do what's necessary because we just don't see the world the same.
Yeah,
and I think that's most of it. You know, I know that you definitely, you know, it's always great to talk to somebody that's experienced at least a lot more hardship than what I feel like I've been through, you know, and it makes me grateful for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, I can't imagine just going through a fraction of some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I better stop complaining. I'll sound like a bitch, you know? Like,
yeah. Well, it's been a ride, you know. And
yeah.
That's
not too long ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's probably plenty of more that led up to all that, but
yeah,
man, it's great to, you know, it's great to see you doing so well, and it's an honor to be a part of your journey too.
Well,
honestly.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
You definitely was like going back when I say, you know, entrepreneurship too. You want to surround yourself around good people that are going to help you get where you want to go. You know, because you can't do it by yourself. You got to have a good structure, good team behind you. And
I agree.
And you've definitely played that part on the fitness side of what I do, you know, because you're just a man at what you do. Like, that's why I tell you every time I come in here, man, I just do what you tell me. Hey, do this.
I try to tell everyone that.
Right,
everyone wants to make it more difficult than it is, but it's all good.
I might ask a question here or there just because I want to learn.
Oh,
you know?
No, absolutely, yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm just going to do what you told me.
And it works.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I think that's about time. Yeah. We'll bring you back on another time, figure out some other things to talk about. But I appreciate you coming on, brother.
No problem.
You know,
it was great, man.
Yeah, dude.